All right. So for this video, we're going to show you how to use the laser level. I've already got it set up on a tripod. Tripod, you set it up. Once you get it set up, you just have to screw it in from the bottom right here. It's really easy. You've got the laser level itself. You have a receiver. All right, they call this the RD1 receiver. And then you've got a measuring stick. This receiver just clamps on to this measuring stick. So you can take the receiver off, you can slide it up or down. We're gonna put it roughly right in here. Now where, at least for what I'm doing right now, depending on what you're doing, all right, it doesn't really matter where we put this for now. Now it depends on what you're doing. Now, so this is Coach Rob's. Masonry uses these a lot, and what they use them for is to check the height of their block. So let's say that we're gonna lay a foundation of cinder block, right? We're gonna lay cinder blocks, and he's got mortar joints, all right, between his cinder blocks. So once he gets up maybe so many courses, one of the things that he can do, let's say he's up 3 courses and he's just doing a cross face, he can take this, turn it on, set this as a reference point, so he can pick a reference point, pretty much really any reference point. A lot of people choose a corner. He can choose a reference point, and he can go around and check to see if all of his block around is either high or low and how much it's high or low. And then if he's got to lay, say, 2 more rows of block, he can adjust the thickness of his mortar joint in certain spots in order to get everything level. Because the foundation provides the levelness for our floor joists, which we put in. All right, so he can go around and check that. So we're just going to show you how to use this. One of the things I'm going to do with it. So you see that we've got these tables here, here, here. And if we were to pretend like all of these are, our block foundation, we could check to see if all of our tables or block or foundation, whatever, is all the same height. A lot of other people that use this are people that do a lot of grading, concrete. So a lot of your concrete, if we wanted to check to see if the concrete was level in here, I could check it here, there, and we can check it in different spots. It'll tell me that my concrete is high or low. And if you're wanting it flat, obviously you're gonna want it to all be the same. If you've got a slope, you would obviously want to have, depending on what your slope is, some people choose like, 1 inch or 2 inches over 30 feet or something like that. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna turn this on. Once you turn it on, this thing is gonna begin to spin, and what it's doing is self-leveling. So once they call it an auto level, all right, it is self-level. I'm gonna turn the light off so you can just see in the video the little red line that is going around the room. Hopefully you can see that red line in the video, but that red line, you see it running across the whiteboard up there. So it's spinning really fast. And you can use this thing, I just looked at the book, you can use these up to 500 feet. So if you need to check it, this thing has a remote that I can operate from here. I'm not going to in here because I'm so close to it. But if you needed to, you could use the remote to operate it. And so you could check distance. Let's say you're building a huge warehouse, you work for a commercial construction company. You could check distances, over 300, 400, 500 feet if you needed to, which is a really long way as far as that goes. Oh, what's up? I'm videoing, sorry. All right, so we're gonna turn the receiver part on. This part, I don't know if you can see this in the video or not. It's telling me that I gotta go up. All right, so if I'm gonna slide this up, and what it's gonna do, this thing is telling me I've gotta go up. The laser level, if I slide it up, right, and now it's telling me I gotta go down. The little blue light in the middle will light up. There's our solid tone. So we could establish that as our reference point right there. That's my solid tone. So now I can check, if I leave this set exactly where it's at, right there, I can go check my other tables. So it's telling me that I need to go down. Now I can figure out how much down this table is, or how much high this table is than that one. So if I want to, right there, we moved probably a good 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so this table is about 3/4 of an inch higher than this table. okay? And the way I could figure that out is I could just put a mark on here and figure out the distance that I slid this, all right? We're gonna check this table, all right? This table says I need to go up, so this table is higher than this table, which is higher than this table. And as I said, you can obviously do this. There's my solid tone. So we moved back up right there. All right, so this can just tell me, am I going up or down? Do I need to go up or down with my block or with my concrete, whatever I'm pouring? All right, so it just gives me, that solid tone lets me know they're solid right there. All right, and this thing just transmits with this. So that's how you use your laser level. You can use it for a ton of stuff, grading, concrete, block. You could use it in a house if you wanted to check your floor system in your house to see if it was level. So you could use it for a ton of things. These things are decently expensive. I want to say Rob paid roughly like $600 or so for it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. We're going to turn that on. A couple of features it's got, you can check to see if this thing's accurate. It will shoot a dot there on the wall, and then you can shoot a dot on the wall over there, and then you can turn it into spin mode, which it's doing right now. And once it starts rotating, the line better be going through this dot and that dot over there as it spins. And if it's not going through those dots, then you know that something's off. It's got an anti-tip over mode, so it stops if something falls over. It's got to where it will do a V, just one section, so it's got 4 sections of glass here, to where it will just go back and forth between these one section if you just want to do it in one little tiny area. So you got different modes that you can use this thing on. All right, so this thing's very handy, especially if you're gonna be in construction for a while. You're probably gonna need one of these at some point in time.